Boy Dimes Reacts back with another video. Today we got EDP445 is currently begging for another chance. Please show a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Road 300 subscribers. Let's get right into it. I did a reaction. I remember I did a reaction a long time ago to the original Catch. The YouTube video stayed up for like a good 2 years, and then they didn't copyright strike it, but YouTube just deleted the video out of nowhere because it was a form of harassment or whatever. But we all know what EDP got caught up in with getting caught going for a cupcake, so to speak.
I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Argo's been putting in his work. This deserves 100K, man. Let's get him there, man. For real.
So a few weeks ago, I made a video discussing EDP445's 80th attempt at returning to YouTube after a 3-year ban for trying to meet up with a minor for quote-unquote cupcakes. In that video, he basically said that he would use this new channel as a test run of sorts. And that's exactly what he's done, uploading everything under the sun, from sorry videos talking about his failed love life to Eagles rant videos, and even a rundown of his dialysis post-treatment for his kidney failure, which actually turned out to be true. Go figure.
I remember hearing people talk about it. So, and I remember Gideon and Skeeter Gene, whatever his name is, went and confronted him outside of his dialysis center. Crazy. But, like, I remember hearing people talk about his kidney failure after this situation happened. And, you know, I thought people was making it up, but after he got caught, the internet being the internet, every move he made, I remember every move he made, he was getting doxxed. He tried to be an Uber and Lyft driver. That enough people reported him to where he lost that. Like, for an average person, you would say, "Oh, I feel bad for the guy." But for the context of what EDP has done, and then it has been said he's tried to do this again since then. So I don't know. It ain't no feeling bad, but
the comments of my last video were saying, don't give him attention, this is what he wants. And that is probably true, because his return video has over 140,000 views.
I will argue too, though, anything he does is going to get attention regardless. Even if he try to live a normal civilian life, especially if he has a job in the public eye, he's going to get attention just because this situation with the whole cupcake thing, I remember it was before Not Like Us song came out. Every time somebody gets caught now, you know, you hear the Not Like Us instrumental in the back. Before then, it'd be like, oh, such and such was looking for a cupcake. So yeah, anything he does, and then plus, this guy had like 3 million subscribers on YouTube. So for him to get caught up in this, yes, he's going to have a fan base still. Probably people still going to watch him like out of love. But then there's the side of the internet that's going to hate watch him and send a bunch of hate his way. So either way, he's going to get attention. So the notion of don't give it attention, I get it. If this was anybody else, sure. But in this situation, this was one of the biggest situations of 2021.
Recording this, and his channel will probably be on his way to being monetized if he didn't curse so much. But the one recent video that actually made me laugh out loud was this sorry excuse for an apology about the disgusting things that he's done over the years. Before I get into this fake apology video, I'm
actually surprised he acknowledged it. That's kind of, cause I thought he struck me as the type of person that would have tried to let the hate comments and troll, so to speak, because that's what he's gonna call them. I thought he was gonna just brush it all off. I didn't think he would ever acknowledge it. So I don't know. And then I feel like maybe he's acknowledging it, so like for the people that still do like him and still gonna support him, he's acknowledging it for those who at least be like, hey, he acknowledged his mistakes and blah blah blah. You know what they gonna say.
I don't condone any bullying or harassment of any nature, even if he's a bad person. You could be critical of someone and their actions without all the extra BS. What I hope is that YouTube does their due diligence when it comes to people like him actively posting on their platform with seemingly no consequences. So the title of the video in question is Mistakes Were Made, basically implying,
bro, what? Mistakes were made? That's what we titled the, like, bro, act like he offed himself in Call of Duty or something. Mistake? And then I could, I can see. Well, I'm not saying it's right, but I can see cheating or something along the lines of that, or it gets exposed that you have a gambling addiction or something like that. This ain't no small mistake, EDP. And the part that gets me, the reason he got caught up in the first place is because it was rumored before he got caught in this cupcake situation that he was already trying to talk to those type of people. So that's why people started trying to run decoy tests on him in the first place. If they never had that suspicion, we wouldn't have had these decoy runs in the first place.
He did was a small infraction, which is far from the truth. I mean, the man had full explicit convos with an underage girl, even going as far as trying to meet them. Oh, and let's not forget him flexing to his audience that he was some kind of chick magnet when this was in fact the decoy.
Hey, babe, let me give you a call back. I'm making a video, all right? All right, love you. All right.
Saying you love you to somebody you never met before in person is crazy. I know as a kid, you know, kick days and all that, we used to do foolishness like that. But as you get older, you learn better. Saying you even as I'm 24 now, even as a 24-year-old, I'm not telling just any random chick I never met in person before, I love you. We can FaceTime all day, every day. It's a different vibe in person than on the phone. And on the phone, it's a different vibe from in text. So to me, bro, I don't know.
You niggas know about that. Little nerd ass, no pussy getting motherfuckers.
Then it just get worse. I thought the extent of it was I love you. That part had me kind of cringe a little bit because I'm like, you really saying I love you to somebody you never met in person? But it just get worse.
You know what I mean? Motherfuckers hating and shit.
Hating?
Good thing. That girl's sexy as hell.
Now, EDP decided that it was best to turn the comments, likes, and dislikes off for this one. I do want to note that this is the only video that he has all these off, and I don't blame him. The comments under this video would have been ruthless. He starts this off by saying the quote-unquote trolls that continue to follow him around social media don't understand the concept of forgiveness, and talks about his mental state around the time that he texted a minor in 2021.
You're dealing with trolls, when you're dealing with people on the internet who can just leave a comment and just run off to the scurries of their own, you know, hiding spots, is that there's no reconciling with these motherfuckers. There's no getting through to them. There's no...
I can understand the concept of forgiveness and all of that. I can understand, like, hey, certain point we got to forgive people. But in this sort of situation, bro, you got caught multiple times before you got caught, like... Cause I remember, like, it was like rumored, oh, EDP might be, before he got caught the first time, it was all, he might be a weirdo because people was exposing DMs and, you know, the accounts that was exposing him had pretty much no following and all of that. So it's like, I remember people was trying to expose him since 2020 when he was his original, like, peak to fame. I remember people was trying to expose him like, hey, he might be a weirdo. But it was small accounts doing it, so people brushed it off until the Chet Goldstein and CC Unit situation. And that's when people finally took it serious. And even after, apparently, they said he was still, you know. So yeah, if we see you, this is one of those tricky situations because, you know, imagine it wasn't a decoy. Imagine this was a real situation. Yeah, just imagine that was a real situation. And not just some decoy. Because that whole situation was, let's be honest, him getting caught was not a professional job. They showed how unprofessional they were. It's like they were trying to do this to build their own personal brand, honestly. But not that kind of took eyes off focus of EDP being the creep, basically.
you know.
But yeah, I understand the concept of forgiveness, but this is one of those situations. Like, bro, you're a habitual offender.
These people to understand where you were at that point in time in your life. You know, addressing what happened a few years ago, the whole incident and stuff like that. I'll be the first person to tell you, I was in a very dark place in my life. Very dark place.
It's so pathetic how he tries to use his deteriorating mental health as a reason why people should even consider giving him another chance. I heard he likes football, so let me break down what his play is here. The only reason why this is even being addressed at this current moment is to appeal to the handful of dedicated fans that he has left. Just so the internet can't say that he never addressed
Exactly, I just said that. So he'll be, for him and his core audience that is still there, to be like, oh, it's not like he never addressed the situation. He said he was going through, and and that's the thing with mental health. We are told, hey, never question someone's mental health. When somebody say they experiencing mental health problems, we never question it. And if you do question it, you're painted out to be a bad person.
Probably one of the worst apologies I've seen on YouTube, and probably worse than his last one. I'm gonna keep rolling the clips for y'all.
Had the fame, had the money, you know, had the status, you know.
Let's not. Was EDP famous, so to speak? He had clout. There's a difference between, yes, there are some YouTubers and streamers who I would consider famous, and there are some that just have clout. Like, at this point, we might as well say Kai and Speed. AMP as a whole, maybe. They're famous. Like, when these people be like, they're famous. You have clout. You have, but outside of your niche, I mean, EDP, I don't know, was EDP getting there? Because I remember it was a point in 2020 where people was like, Flight and EDP was the two content creators carrying 2020. But now people don't mention the part where EDP carried 2020 because of what he did. But it was even an argument, like, for 2020 content creators, because he didn't get caught until 2021. But 2020, it was an argument, like, oh, EDP was one of them ones.
I thought
because it was so many, like, it's like I seen a lot of people would post meme comps of EDP. People reacting to the meme comp getting a bunch of views, like million views. The reactions being a lot of new reactors, most popular video on the channel, and they channel just skyrockets out of nowhere. EDP and Flight was the money glitches of reactions that year.
Touched, you paid the price for it, you know. Now, one thing I want you guys to understand, you know, another thing I want you guys to understand it, and of course, you know, there's going to be those motherfuckers out there, oh, EDP, just because you were in a dark place, that doesn't justify what you did.
See, that's how it is with a lot of these influencers, man. I swear to God, bro. When y'all get to a certain spot, a certain level of fame, y'all feel like nobody can touch y'all. I can just touch kids. Like, bro,
that's a crazy jump, though. I'm not gonna lie. That's a crazy jump. I could see, I thought I could never be touched. I thought I was invincible, so I cheated. Not saying that's right again. Stuff like that, like, I thought she'd never catch me. But I think I'm invincible. I'm gonna go talk to a kid. What?
Don't understand that shit, bro.
First off, don't try to put fucking words up in my mouth. We're not here for that shit. I'm here to explain to you.
Well, explain where your mental health was at the time.
Headspace a few years ago. You know what I mean?
I want to hear about this dark place in your head because I just want to know what made you just want to talk to younger girls. I mean, weren't you in a relationship with an older woman that had a kid or was a teacher or something like that? I mean, why couldn't you just stick with the same age group? You know what I mean? Why?
Yeah, I remember, like, he had a legit girlfriend, and I guess, well, I remember his mom passing and all of that, so maybe that's, but even then, that's like, okay, so you go from this teacher to one of the teacher's students.
The minors and stuff like that. Like, I just want to know what was going on in your life.
The only thing that you can do as a human being when you make a mistake to this magnitude is to take responsibility for your actions.
But
take
are you doing
accountability for your actions.
Are you doing
understand that there is an issue, right?
Okay,
Understand that this is not normal. You know what I mean? To have these type of behaviors, they are not normal, right? Get the necessary help, whether it's talking to a psychiatrist, talking to a therapist. You know, it can even be as simple as sitting down and talking to your family members.
I'm gonna say something that's probably not unpopular, but may be unpopular. I just don't think that talking to a psychiatrist, your family, talking to anybody in general about these types of behaviors is gonna solve anything. I feel like once you have these kind of thoughts, it's just ingrained in you. It's just who you are. Like, I don't feel like these types of people can be recovered, can be, you know, rehabilitated.
I disagree slightly there. Like, if a lot of these people would go to therapy and be like, hey, I understand this, how I'm feeling is wrong, I need help, I feel like that would prevent some of these cases from happening. Like, when these people will be all, I feel like I disagree, but I understand why he said, like, there's no helping these people, because a lot of times they're not going to acknowledge that they need help. They're going to keep it a secret. They're going to, you know, you're going to hide it. So I understand where Fargo's coming from, but I'm saying if we lived in a perfect world and some of these people be like, hey, this ain't a normal thing that I'm feeling, I have this slight urge, if they talk to someone, I feel like that would help them.
In general, like, I don't think that these people can be saved. You know what I'm
because
saying?
A lot of times they're gonna justify, like, not saying he is, but like the whole they're gonna take the whole Sneeko route to find a kid. That's the route they would take. Oh, I didn't know. Whole time they did know, or whole time they had a suspicion. You know,
raps for them. Like, I feel like these types of people just need to be locked up and just sent somewhere, and, you know, they live the rest of their lives away from society. I don't think they should be able to contribute to whatever society that we have right now, whether good or bad. I don't think that these people deserve to be in normal civilization.
Overall, just trying to make sure that the same mistake doesn't happen again, and you learn from your mistake. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I don't think it takes getting caught to know that you shouldn't talk to an underage girl. I mean, it shouldn't be something like it's a mistake or anything like that. Like I said earlier, this is something that you just don't do. This is not an oopsie daisy, oh, I'll never do it again. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like when you talk to your parents, when you get in trouble, it's not gonna happen again. Like, no, it just shouldn't happen. Like, this should not happen at all.
And just try to improve yourself as a person. If that's not good enough for people, well, then that sounds like a fucking personal issue to me. Now, a lot of people, they like to assume, right, just because I haven't came out and made some big ass crying video, you know what I mean?
Nah, we don't want that, because when people do be crying, it's like you're doing the most. So we at least
fucking assified myself, all hysterical on camera and shit like that, that I show no remorse. That couldn't be any more further from the truth. You know what I mean? What I want you guys to realize is the fact that I have sat down and I have apologized to my family.
He's gonna say it's a personal problem because...
But have you apologized to any of the other victims you've been dealing with since, like, before then? Have you sat down and apologized to the people that looked up to you? I mean, like, you can't just say, oh, I sat down with my family. Sure, I'm pretty sure your family needs an explanation. I'm not going to say, oh, no. I'm not one of those people that's going to be, oh, what are you talking to his family about it for? Because his family, they probably seen the aftermath of, and they probably had to deal with some, like, this is my only issue with the whole situation. Y'all probably went out y'all way. Some of the people that was doxing him and stuff went out the way probably to dox his family members and all of that. So it's like, he should be apologizing to his family, because he put his actions put his family in some unfortunate situations, I'm sure, as well. So, like, just imagine you do something, and I don't know, does he have any brothers or sisters? Like, people start doxing people that have nothing to do with the situation. So it's like, bro, of course he has to apologize to them, but you do owe your victims an apology, which I could, with this one decoy, and they say you've been caught multiple times before this. I'm pretty sure the other conversations get crazy too. So it's like, you owe the people that looked up to you an apology, bro. You can't just say, "Oh, I apologize to my family," and that's it. You owe them an apology too, but you owe.
We are expecting an actual apology.
Yeah,
not
we
just
want
some
an apology and change. Like, okay, maybe some people will be like, if they see something, but oh, maybe he learned from his actions. I don't know.
actions that day. Sorry for all the people affected. We'll just move along like nothing happened. And I'm sorry for what my family had to go through. Not I'm sorry for talking to this girl, texting this girl this, saying this, saying that, doing this, doing that.
If y'all seen the chat logs, if you hadn't, I wouldn't recommend it, but it was crazy. So it's not like, oh, I apologize to my family, okay, it's over. Oh, I apologize to y'all, accept it and keep it moving. No. In the back of everybody's mind is always gonna be this situation when it like
you didn't give us the whole
this situation is gonna forever be tied.
Basically brushed it off like, oh, it was a minor infraction. Let's just move on. I'm sorry.
That's why I hate that Chet Goldstein and CC Unit went about the situation the way that they did. I hate that they went about it the way that they did because it's always gonna be room for him to at least try to justify himself. Because even with that, I remember him speaking out on it, he was brushing it off as something was wrong with them as well, which they got exposed for their fair share of things, but that took a lot of attention off of EDP has a problem.
Happened with my family, all the threats or whatever was going on, whatever messages they got, the embarrassment, that's all you said. We didn't expect you to get on here crying. We just expected an actual adult response, an adult apology, accountability, not just, oh, that happened and it was in the past and I had a mindset that I don't have now. My mental is not the same as it was back then. And yeah, let's just move on. No.
So there are literally 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, you know what I mean, DMing me, hitting me up on Instagram. And they'll fucking type this message and they'll be all like, oh my God, are you the real EDP? And the moment I respond with, yes, I am, what they'll do, right? And they think that they're...
Why are you responding in the first place, bro?
About this shit, right? Malicious intent. You feel me?
I don't get what he's saying.
I made a video a long time ago. And it was a video where I talked about, obviously adults should be held accountable and they should be
okay, so throughout this whole time what I'm noticing is he does not know what the fuck he wants to say. Now, as a YouTuber, I tend to edit things out when I mess up, kind of like messing up my words and shit, mumble jumble, I'm saying, saliva flying out my mouth and shit, and I gotta re-record. But this nigga right here does not know what the fuck he wants to say. I mean, like, I've seen apologies on YouTube. I've seen people addressing things, but this is probably the worst attempt I've seen at somebody addressing the internet. Like, bro, you got to know what you're saying before you get on here. Like, it's just simple as that, bro. You've been doing YouTube longer than me, and I do a better job of that shit.
I also feel minors should get in trouble for messaging adults. You feel me? Having a very malicious intent behind their messages.
You should blame the minors. We should blame the parents. We should blame this person, blame that person. Blame everyone but me. You know what I'm saying? Blame everyone but me for falling for the trap. The clear trap. falling for it as a horny motherfucker. Blame every single person but myself for my actions. I mean, EDP, this is just nothing new. I mean, we expected this.
Which ultimately leads to harassment, right? Showing up at your job, tracking where you work at, showing up at
like I said, that was that era when people was doing that. Like every time EDP found another job, that was kind of crazy. But then you got to remember what he did. Like just looking at it, yeah, that does sound crazy. Hey, people showing up to your job and all of that. Like when you try to like brush it off and go back to a normal life, people showing up at your dialysis center and all that. That does sound kind of crazy. But then you remember what EDP got caught up in.
Dialysis center, you know what I mean? Trying to find out, you know, what type of community that you live in, right? Storming the leasing office and shit like that. Storming HOA offices and shit like that. You know what I mean? Fucking with you out in public at the grocery store. You feel me? Throwing shit at your motherfucking window as you're at a stoplight when somebody recognizes you.
Now this is the part that I can actually agree with him when it comes to this, but to a certain extent. Now, you're EDP445. You did some fucked up shit on the internet, and people are fucking with you, harassing you, which I do not condone at all. I mean, leave the nigga alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, leave the nigga alone. Let him wallow in his despair and his fucked up life as he describes it. But one thing that you have to realize, EDP, realize that you're EDP445. You did some fucked up shit on the internet, and this is your livelihood. You can't expect everyone to have the same type of mindset. I'm not going to say sympathy for you. The same type of mindset when it comes to approaching you in public or seeing you in public.
I would add this though, like I personally wouldn't go about like, you know, okay, EDP got another job. Okay. EDP goes to dialysis and I happen to know where it's at. Okay. I'm not showing up there to try to like cause no trouble with them, because I'm not that type of person, first off. So like, I will say that, okay, that could seem a bit overwhelming. No matter what he did, I give him that, like, because I personally wouldn't do it. Because it does sound kind of crazy. That, oh, we showing up to this man's job. We, like, where he lives. The man, we going up to where this man live, going to his leasing office. Because at the end of the day, like, y'all showing up at this dude's house. What does that do?
People don't give a fuck, my nigga. They're gonna do anything they want to do, and especially when it comes to somebody like you that did what you did. I mean, people don't have no sympathy for that. You just gotta accept it.
I don't give a how you try to paint the situation, how much you try to dress it up. That is a malicious act, and it's fucked up.
I like how this whole time throughout this 9 minutes that I'm at, actually right here, that you failed to talk about this dark place that you were in, and you just completely derail and completely try to deter and deflect everything that you were talking about to talk about some shit that makes you seem like a victim. And that right there,
yeah, even with him getting caught, he tried to make himself like, oh, these people that text, the minors that text should be arrested too. Like, it's like this whole situation is a deflect act.
What the play is for him. That's literally what he does. Like, he wants people to feel sorry for him, have sympathy for him.
But like I said, the only part I will agree with him on is showing up to the job is crazy.
I know exactly why you turned off the comments and the likes and dislikes.
True.
Bro, this is horrible. Holy shit.
You know, half-assed apology video where I had the Barack Obama voiceover. Like I mentioned before in the earlier stages of the video, there's no reconciling with these motherfuckers. You feel me? There's no winning with these niggas on fucking line. You feel me? Not even if you're trying to win. You're just trying to get them to understand where you were from a mental standpoint back up in the day. And no, it's not justifying this shit.
It actually is justifying this shit. I mean, and I'm glad you actually mentioned that apology was actually ass. Like, bro, the apology was half-ass. It was half-baked. It was bullshit. And I'm glad you actually owned up to that. That's literally the only fucking thing you owned up to. Literally the only thing that you owned up to this video.
Because I knew deep down, right, no matter how fucking apologetic I was, no matter how fucking sorry I was, or whatever they're going to throw that bullshit at you. Oh, you're only making the video and you're only crying in the video because you got caught.
That is a fact. I remember when that whole sting, or not the sting operation, the expose situation.
You know what's crazy about that too? He sat there, EDP sat there for like a whole hour and a half before he finally walked off. It's like, bro, as soon as you got caught, what? They're not police. Why didn't you walk off sooner? Wait, it's like they try to conduct the interview and all that with you, all that nonsense with you, making jokes on your behalf, and you stayed. Why?
Where he got caught or whatever, this man was in tears. He said, "My life is over."
Yes, he did do that.
He fell down to his knees, bro. His life was in shambles, bro. Like, he knew everything was over from that point. And that's why I said in the first video that I made, or the last video I made about EDP 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago at this point, that, yeah, this shit was basically the end of his career as we knew it. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it was fact.
Because he went from being the diehard Eagles fan, because I think even Fox or like ESPN or one of those sports places, like in his peak, was posting him like clips like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl or something like that. They had his reaction and all of that. You went viral off this stuff. You went from being known on the internet as, oh, that's that big diehard Eagles fan, to you forever gonna be known now as, oh, that's Cupcake Dude. And not, oh, Cupcakes as, oh, he's a bakery. He's forever gonna be known as that one moment.
You need to take accountability and responsibility. You need to cam up and address your fans. The only people that I need to address are my friends and my family members.
Those are not the only people you need to address.
My actions.
You need to address them, but those ain't the only people.
And that I have addressed privately.
And what did I say? He's literally going to bring up that he addressed it already. This is literally the play. This is his mindset. That since I addressed it already, I don't have to say anything else. I don't have to own up. But I do have to play victim. I do have to have a little bit of a grift going on with my little bit of supporters that I have left, to just let them know that I am still here for y'all. I'm still here to make content, and I'm just trying to move on from the situation. Can we just forgive me? Please forgive me. So one thing I do want to note from this whole video, like I said earlier, he does not know what the fuck he wants to talk about. He just says shit in front of a camera.
Exactly, and that's why I feel like Fargo put it together really good. I'm not, but me personally, I feel like my overall reaction, because I hadn't seen this, so I feel like my reactions and all of that feels all over the place right now, because what EDP gave us was all over the place.
To himself, this whole entire time, telling himself these lies, so it's just the truth for him. It's just like, I'm the victim. I am being done wrong. At first it was, oh, it was a setup, such and such and such. Now he's kind of saying that, oh, mistakes were made and I was in a dark place. Just little by little, you think he's finally gonna own up. Because
remember too, y'all remember that one bogus excuse he had at one point was, oh, we was all actors. Y'all remember that? I remember that one. So it's not like he was trying to give accountability before. It's not like that. No.
Victim mode, man.
I just thought about
EDP445, bro. But let me know what you guys think about this, man. Honestly, I feel like the man should be banned from YouTube. Like, why is YouTube allowing people like this on their platform that people have literal proof of him doing some fucked up shit? I mean, YouTube, bro, we gotta do better, man. We gotta do better.